I don't know. That's a hell of a question because I don't know how to answer that. And and not only that, I mean, the guy wears a lot more hats than just being the greatest announcer that ever got in front of a microphone. And no disrespect to Gordon Soley, he does a lot of things there. And then also, I mean, he was fading a lot of the heat for Vince, and he was kind of that go-to guy, and he was talent relations. I mean, now someone else is doing that. But when you talk to Jim Ross, a guy who's been in the business 30 some odd years, and he's been down the road, he's been divorced, he's got a DUI, he's got this, he's done that. You're talking to a guy with a wealth of experience who has actually lived life and can give you some heavy-duty answers to some of the heavy-duty questions that you're going to ask him, and being in the business. Because, I mean, sometimes, when guys get on the road and things aren't going good, I mean, sometimes you need a friend, sometimes you need a brother or a father or a psychiatrist, and Jim can be that guy for you and always give you the truth and help steer you in the right direction, because sometimes it's a tough business.
Yeah, what's life like on the road? You see people complaining about it every day, and obviously, you cracked at one point and said this is it, whether it be creative differences or it's just getting to me. At the end of the day, you're a human being, you've got a life.
Well, and I won't say that I cracked, I'll just say I kind of flipped my wig, because when I found out that they want me to lose to a guy in a match that hasn't been advertised, and my thought process is, it is so hard to find a guy that truly draws huge money, because right now I can think of two of them right off the top of my head, me being one of them. And all of a sudden you want him to do a job for some guy who's coming up, but who knows what he's going to be. And to me, that's the biggest slap in the face that you could ever slap someone in the face with. And, I was fixing to wrestle Flair in a cage in Columbus, Georgia, when Jim Ross called and gave me that creative. And I said, man, if that's going to happen, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
And so finally he called me back. It was, Vince wants you to call him. I called him at 2 in the morning when I got back to Atlanta from working with Flair in that cage, and Vince runs that creative by me. And I wish I could have seen him, because I looked at him like I said, okay,
Yeah.
And if you're looking at me like this, you probably see that I'm probably not going to show up.
Yeah.
But if you're just listening to me, it sounds like I'm saying, okay,
yeah,
I'll be there. All this. But anyway, I wish I could have done that. What was the point that we were trying to make there? Oh, I didn't crack. We're talking about life on the road. It was just to me, someone stuck it up my backside there, so I'm not going to take that, and I could have handled it different. But life on the road is phenomenal. But is it a grind? Yeah. But I mean, my whole dream in my life was to be a professional wrestler, and then all of a sudden I hit it the way I did, and I'm on top of the world, and you're getting paid outstanding money. Your merchandise is through the roof. I enjoyed running down the road. I carried, everybody wore the fanny packs back in so you can put on your receipts.
All the wrestlers. The funniest thing I ever saw in Manchester was the Undertaker with a fanny pack.
I remember the fanny pack came out. Yeah, but you remember back in the day, everybody had those clutch bags,
Yeah.
But I would put mine on the roof of the car, and I'd drive off and lose all my stuff. So the fanny pack came out. I remember first seeing that thing, the strap you put around your waist. And I was thinking, man, ain't no way I'll ever use one of those. Those are so bogus. 2 months later, I got a fanny pack. Hey, I don't use one now, though, because I got out of business. I don't have all the receipts.
For the legacy of Stone Cold Steve Austin, the DVD, how much creative did you have on that? Did you sit down and go, I want that match on, I don't want that match on, I want this match on?
I didn't remember a lot of those matches. Kevin Dunn kind of put some together of a list. And, because so many of my matches were on the 6 other DVDs that I've done, or how many I've had, which has been a bunch of them. I remembered I got called in to do those voiceovers, and I just got finished pushing the Condemn. I was burned out, didn't feel like doing it. I went in there and I was like, I was a little disappointed in the Legacy DVD. I thought for the type of career that I had, that DVD should have been every bell and whistle that you can absolutely throw in a DVD. It should have been there. And when I watched it back, to me, it was a little bare bones. And I know you guys saw some good stuff on there. And yeah, there was some good stuff on there.
The only criticism for me was I love the big cheesy American documentaries that they make, the rise and fall of whatever. It's more Steve talks, match. Steve talks, match. Yeah. I wanted Steve talking for an hour, then I wanted the matches on the 2 DVDs.
Yeah. And Jim Ross talking, and Vince talking, and get Bischoff back, why he fired you, Hogan talking.
I thought they really could have done a lot more homework on it. I don't want to beat it up too bad. I'm always very honest about what I'm promoting.
Yeah.
If that's the way I feel, I'm not going to lie about the way I feel. And I don't think that really made me a popular guy with the people that put it together, but so be it.
Yeah. One thing I want to bring up, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, you special guest referee.
Brutality.
Right.
Go ahead.
You're in that ring.
Yep.
Did you want to die?
Yes, because, man, I used to own Madison Square Garden. I mean, that was one of my favorite buildings to be in. And if you get over in front of a Madison Square Garden, it means you've really got your stuff together, because the people in the Garden have seen everything because of the history of WWF turning into WWF to WWE. They've seen it all.
Yeah.
And it's a very critical crowd. For me to go in that ring after doing everything that I've done, all of a sudden these two guys, these two bulls, are ready to lock horns and do battle, and all of a sudden they don't want to even touch. And they're screaming at each other, "What do you want to do? I don't give a rat's. What do you want to do?" And they're yelling all this stuff to each other. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, somebody do something.
I can see you smirking. You stood there smirking, thinking,
well,
I don't want to be here.
Man, if there's one thing I know, I don't hear very well just because my hearing kind of sucks. But if you put me in an arena full of people, I can hear everything. I've got like a supersonic ear. And I listen to the crowd, because the crowd's telling you, how you make your decisions. If you're not listening to the crowd, you're not working right. And so I'm sitting there thinking, this is really going to get ugly. And for a real split second, I almost thought about just taking off and just hitting the ropes, because I guarantee I would have blown the roof off the place. And I swear to God, that's what I was going to do. But I didn't, because I said, you know what? This ain't about me. It's about these guys. So I didn't do it. But when I look back, if I'm ever put in that situation again, I'm going to save my own ass. So if they're not going to entertain the people, I will. If I ever get in that situation again, look out.
Well, I've heard that you're going into the Hall of Fame next year. You'll be headlining the Hall of Fame next year. Is that true?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I heard that I maybe could have had the potential to go in this year, and I didn't want to go in this year because there's too many names that needed to go in there before me.
Yeah.
And I really feel that way about Texas too, but if it happens, it happens.
Now, I had a rumour that this year's show you were asked to do a match, the JBL Hornswoggle Vince. You were asked to be involved in that match.
If I'm going to come back for one match, I just didn't see that one being the one. And that kind of storyline, because I thought they could have done a creative way better on that. I guess, now I kind of just take that never say never approach that, you're not going to have the last match, because for a while I just said, no, it will never happen. But who knows, if the most perfect scenario, and I'm not saying this to get everybody up, I'm saying it'd have to be the most perfect setup in the whole world for everything, all the stars to align for it to happen. Chances are few and far between of it happening, but could it? Yeah, maybe.
I was one of those people chanting Austin Hogan at Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right, because, I mean, it would have been cool for
would you do it?
Yeah, it'd been a rotten match. You know Hogan's style. You know my style. Believe me, I can still do my style. He can barely do his. I don't think when you put those two elements in the ring with the ingredients you have there, I don't see that match working.
There's no
Hogan wants it, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wants it. There's no disrespect to Mayweather Big Show this year, and the reputed $20 million that they're paying him, whatever that, whether that be true.
Come on, ain't buying that.
Yeah, whether it not be true. Austin Hogan, $10 million each. That'd draw bigger.
10 million might work.
No, I'm just thinking that. I mean, that's because everybody chants Austin Hogan, and as the years go by, he's pushing 80 now. It's going to be, he's got his personal issues going off, and if he loses all his money in certain things that are going off, we won't talk about right now. He needs the money.
Yep. 10 million, I could probably put on a 5-star match of the year candidate with him. I'd be pretty motivated.
When I spoke to him, he was very hot. I think it was the point where he thought it was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. And he said that he made his name headlining WrestleMania 3, doing all this, and Steve's made his name by saying he won't fight Hulk Hogan. When you hear something like that, how's it?
Oh, he's just a bitter, insecure guy. I mean, and like I said, I give him all the credit in the world because I've watched a lot of his career unfold. And, the Hulkamania thing is one of the biggest things ever. But, believe me, I've been around since, and basically in entertainment business since the back end of '89. If one thing you're going to find out, that if you got thin skin, you're probably in the wrong business. So there's not a damn thing that Hogan could say to rile me up or, charge me up. I'm secure in the career that I had and everything that I did, and it kind of makes me laugh when he's got to do that, because I really think it makes him look like a chump.
Yeah. Is that you finished now completely as far as wrestling goes? Because they bring you back every time Raw changes networks or whatever. They bring you back and they go, Steve, 20 minutes, microphone, go, and it's going to get a rating. Is there no chance of you getting back in the ring for that one final $10 million match?